Hi, I'm Becky Brune and welcome to my vlog. When people ask me what I do, I just tell them what's on my business card. I make video. And for most people, that's enough. But there are other people who are not satisfied with that answer. And I do appreciate a curious nature. What do I actually do? The first thing I want to say is I'm not a hobbyist and I'm not an artist. I own my own videography business, and like most business owners, I am always looking for more client work. However, my overhead is low, and so I have time to pursue my own creative interests around videography. What do I mean? Well, here's an example. My son surprised me a couple years ago by mentioning that he has 3 bagel shops within walking distance of his apartment. This intrigued me. How can his Seattle neighborhood sustain 3 bagel shops? I had seen videos on social media where a person goes around to various restaurants and tries them out. And so I hired Ben Lawrence as cameraman, and I got a sound person and an assistant, and I got Nick Payton to come with me, and we toured those 3 bagel shops. We had so much fun. We ended up doing it 3 more times. We did teriyaki, donuts, and taco trucks. Now, are these videos profitable? No, they are not. But I learned to script and produce that kind of video. And I learned to work with a crew. And I learned to be in front of the camera on the street. Here is a very different example. I love Jane Austen, and I love adaptations of her novel Persuasion. And I watched them enough that I formed some opinions about them. And I wrote a script and spent an inordinate amount of time creating a video to present my ideas, to defend them. I knew the entire time I was making that I was indulging in my own interest, and it was too long and no one would ever watch it. But it turns out that Jane Austen is a niche topic that people online like to talk about. And that video is by far my most viewed video on YouTube. Even now, 2 years later, I get about 1,500 views per month on that one video. Is it profitable? No, it's not. My YouTube channel is not monetized. It could be one day, but that's not what I'm working toward. I don't cater to a specific audience. With client work, it's all about audience. That's the first question that you ask is, who is this for? With creative work, I can't always answer who the audience is. I created a 22 video series about getting ready to go on a long trip to France. And that was a chronicle, that was a journal, that was for me. I got a green screen and I set it up and I learned how to use it, and I got my neighbor to come over and ride an exercise bicycle in front of it in my living room. Why? I don't know, but I could watch that video for hours. I made celebrity faces out of leftover dough. This one is the then Governor Jay Inslee. Why did I do this? I don't know. I mean, it's funny. And you just don't do things like this for views or subscribers. Would I want to explain this particular line of work to my parents? Not really. On a whim, a couple of years ago, I signed up for an animation course for fun. As I registered, I noticed grim warnings about the workload, and it really was a rigorous class. I think that they have something like a 50% dropout rate. At the end of the 3 months, I was toast. My shoulder hurt and my mouse hand was a claw. I had to go to the doctor for eye strain, but it had been so fun. And this is, I guess, my point. In that animation course, I learned things that translate directly to my work, my livelihood. I have been able to add animation and motion graphics to videos, and for my largest client, the animation serves their users, their audience, in ways I don't believe could have been done with video alone. Not everything I do is going to pay my grocery bills, although I did eat Jay Inslee. But all of it has been training that has made me a more confident videographer. It's why I buy equipment. It's how I have found colleagues. So when someone asks me, No, but what do you really do? I mean, I make videos. Thanks for being here. See you next time. Bye.